Welcome to Talk Truly, a podcast by Truly Effortless Events, where we invite our vendors to come on here and just lay it out on the line and tell us why they got into what they're doing and some good tips and advice. Today, we have not only the number one electrician in Chattanooga, is Zack Bowman from Renew Electric. How you doing, Zack?
I'm doing great, Dad. Thanks for having me here, man.
Thank you. So, Renew Electric, that's a cool name, but how did you come up with the name?
So there's a story that goes with that for sure. About two years ago or so, even predating that, I used to own Bowman Electric, and I started that when I was working night shift at Komatsu, worked my way up, and was eventually to branch out on our own, and had a solid crew, and I knew how to do the work, but I didn't know anything about business whatsoever. And that combined with just struggles in my home life, just not living the right way in general, caused it to cause that to fold pretty quickly. And in all honesty, it kind of sent me personally down a road that I had no business going down, and I kind of got stuck down there, honestly. And it took meeting my wife now, and thank goodness she's as stubborn as she is, and found out she was pregnant, and I had to make a decision for me to get myself straight and to walk down the path that I needed to be walking. So I actually went to sought out some guys at Calvary Chapel, Chattanooga, and they recommended a Renew Ministry program. And so I literally packed up my stuff, quit my job, and went out to Cagle Mountain on a farm with no cell service, no communication with the outside world whatsoever, and spent 90 days out there. And from the very beginning, I knew that this was my path. However, prior, I was trying to make all the glory about me, and I wanted all the acclamations and all that, and that's not the way to run a business, and that's also me as a Christian, not the way I should be living my life. And so I wanted to, pay tribute to that Renew program, and this name just hit me while I was up there, and I kind of added the little hyphen in there for remodel, new construction. But our goal is to just give the best quality service and be as transparent and honest as possible with every single client, and treat every single person the same. And I'll be honest at it now that we are, obviously we're still making mistakes, still learning, but it has been just incredible, the growth that we've experienced over this past year and a half.
Oh, wow. I have to admit, whenever we have a show called Truly Realtor that you attended.
Yes, sir.
You were a vendor, and people talking to me, I would say that your booth was probably one of the most popular booths there, that people were excited about connecting with and everything like that. Everybody spoke highly of you and your wife.
Yeah.
Who represented your company even, just as well,
Sure.
as you, which was amazing. And from what I understand, when you went to that event, everything was coming in.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We've actually developed numerous contractors and realtors alike from that event. The Snapdragon contract that I was telling you about, that was actually due to a contractor that we met at the Truly event.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and that he connected me with Josh, and it's just kind of rolling from there. But yeah, that event honestly was kind of a tipping point, and
catalyst
to us just kind of going to that next level. And so now we're in the process of buying more vans. We've got another guy coming on in a week, looking for another one. So we're trying to find the right fit of guys too. I'm very, very particular on who I will allow into someone's house. You know,
Yeah. I mean, you have to.
absolutely. So it's been, that part's been difficult, finding the right pieces, but we've got some good younger guys. I'm kind of geared towards finding good people first, and then I can teach them the rest.
Yeah.
Because we hold our quality at a very high standard as well, and you run into some guys that are stuck in their ways, and that it is what it is.
Oh, I've seen that so many times. So what made you want to be an electrician?
So that actually stems back from my grandfather. He was the Lookout Valley handyman, so to speak. He would go and fix people's washers, dryers, electrical stuff like that. And my cousin and I would often go on service calls with him, and didn't really think too much about it then, and until got into, I think it was the summer going into college. Played football at Tusculum College, and I got a job working at Mid-South Electrical Supply. And then just being in that environment, I was like, I'm pretty good at this. But, I was like, I want to be a football coach, though. That's what I want to do. And then when I got into college and started doing some teaching at the local schools, I realized really quickly that's not the fit for me. So it just kind of fell in my lap. And I had a professor there kind of tell me, hey, listen, if you are technically inclined whatsoever, go out and get as many licenses and certificates as you possibly can, and you will be way better off than just getting a standard degree. And that was probably the best advice I ever could have got, because I went from there to Chat State into the industrial electricity program, and it's just grown from there.
Oh, wow. I mean, so, what would you say to like young people that are in school right now that there's so much pressure on going like, oh, you have to get your bachelor's, you have to do this.
Yeah.
Apparently it's working well for you.
Oh, 100%. And right now we need people in the trades. There's a study that says there's only one coming in for every 15 that are retiring. So
wow,
we are already in a shortage, and there's going to be even more of a shortage. And that's also why you see such a crazy increase on services, because honestly, people can kind of charge whatever they want, because the competition is not like it used to be either. Now, granted, materials are also increased as well, but no, there is very good money in the trades right now, and there will be.
Wow. So with lining up your job, what's a typical day for you? I mean, how many jobs what's the most you fit in one day, I guess?
Well, it depends. So right now we have a lot of bigger projects going on as well, and so we typically try to schedule 1 to 2 service calls per day right now. And then, so I'll have one crew running a service, I like to have 2 crews doing a service call first thing in the morning before they head to a bigger project, and then try to fill in accordingly. But I mean, we've done up to 6 service calls, and for one truck before. Pretty easy stuff, but we're staying booked out on, as far as booking our services, for about a month and a half now in advance. Wow. Now with that, that's given me some extra little time on some of these projects, so we are able to have some days free up, and we've kind of got a wait list going right now until we get some more pieces in place. But we're just very honest about it. I'm not going to tell you, hey, I'll be there tomorrow, knowing good and well I won't be. I'm just going to be honest. Hey, first I can get to you is this date. That's okay. We'll put you on the schedule. And sometimes people need their services done quicker, and we understand. We'll do the best we can, but we try to make sure we stick to that schedule so no one gets missed.
There's so many things, that could go wrong with electricity in your home. If you were like just talking to, let's say, people that were stay-at-home workers, work from home, things going on, things they need to check on, besides the light bulbs, of course,
Right.
what are some tips and tricks that would make your job easier and make their pocket a little bit heavier with their own money.
Yeah, and it you know, it depends on wants and needs as well. Obviously, if you think, especially if you're working from home and you have, you know, a lot of equipment hooked up and you're not very sure about how your electrical system is, what we do offer is a whole home electrical safety inspection. And so we will have 2 guys come out and go through your entire electrical system with a fine-tooth comb. That's attic, crawl spaces, searching for anything that might have been hidden over the years or that somebody else might have covered up, or just you know, normal hazards, or just outdated electrical systems that, you know, inevitably they give out over time. So that's something we offer and we do a lot of. You know, we're not gonna come in and tell you, you know, try to scare you into doing some kind of service upgrade or anything you don't need. We're very honest, break you down a list of what is the most important to the least important, and then also give you options on how to fix that, you know, upgrade or just replace.
Now, what would you think would rank number one and most important in all the homes that you've serviced so far?
Yeah, definitely your main electrical services. We actually just finished one last weekend. There's a house fire on a duplex on downtown on Bailey Avenue, and it stemmed from the main electrical system and caught fire to the side of the house. The meter and the panels were both on the exterior, thankfully, because they were able to. It was right across the street from the fire department too, so that helped. They were able to extinguish that quickly. But your main electrical system is what we see have the biggest reason for hazard.
Wow. Well, you know, again, I want to touch back on your journey with, you know, Renew. What did the people in the Renew church, in the Renew program, what did they think about you dedicating, you know, taking that name and saying, this is part of my life.
100%.
It's going to be part of my business now.
No, nothing but encouragement behind them. They've been fantastic. I've got a lot of referrals through the Calvary Chapel as well. And funny enough, one of the things that kind of kickstarted this was, I'd kind of gotten out of the residential wiring and stuff for a while. Before then, I was working as a maintenance manager at a large plant here in Chattanooga. And when I got up there, they found out I did electrical work, and they just so happened to be doing a remodel on the barn up there. So I got to head that project, and that kind of lit my fire on it again too. And so I've actually employed a few different guys from that program as well. We try to stay very involved with that program, and it's been, man, the people there have been nothing but a blessing to me and my family.
Wow. Now, what advice would you give, you know, to someone who wanted to be like, well, you know, to get on the path of just, you know, what you did, you know, to help with their decision on, you know, what was that catalyst? Was it, you know, I know you give a lot of credit to your wife, but, you know, hey, that's, I've seen you two guys, both of you together, and she's amazing. Cheers. You know, you pair off so well. I mean, aren't you competing in like a fitness competition together?
Yeah, we're both competing in the Chattanooga Fitness Expo on July 19th. So it's gonna be fun. It's never imagined ourselves doing this, but it's been good.
Whose idea was it to do it together?
It was actually hers. Her goal after giving birth to our son, we just had his first birthday Saturday, actually.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
What's his name?
Brooks.
Yep.
So that was awesome. But you know, her goal was to you know, commit to this after that, and I was like, well, you do it, I do it. Never thought that we'd actually follow through with it, but you know, here we are, and it's been hard, you know, with everything, you know, a newborn, moving houses, the business, but we've
just a little bit on your plate, you know.
It's just been a little stressful of a year, but it's we're blessed. We really are. And she's been killing it. So and it's funny, when we met in that, that bar scene, that lifestyle. And what we realized is when I got back from that program, we didn't really have anything in common, because the going out and hanging out with friends, and that was what we did together. And so we've now created this healthy, lifestyle together, and to also show our son and raise him up. He's been in the gym since he was born, and so being able to be positive role models and examples for him is, man, it's awesome.
Yeah, it sounds like the path that you're going down is going to lead nowhere, but success. Yeah.
I mean, we that's what we're going for. But you never know. But I feel like, if you're doing the right things, living the right way, that be a lot better off. And it's been the proof's been in the pudding for me. I mean, I've lived my life the wrong way for about 29, 30 years. So it's no coincidence that now things are really starting to take off.
Everything is by design.
100%.
It happens for a reason. Now I'm going to fall back on a couple more electrical questions.
Yes, sir.
What are things that people should look for in their home that are possible, that you just overlook, but needs attention, that from your experience of walking in the house and going like, I can't believe that, this has been like this.
Right.
They need to address it. What would the red flags be?
So some very, a lot of it's hard to pick up because, a lot of your electrical is hidden, obviously. But if you have any kind of black marks around your receptacles, anything like that, that's something that can be very obvious. We changed out 4 of those in a house last week, I believe. We got called for a receptacle that wasn't working, got there, and they were burnt. A lot of that stems from space heaters throughout the winter. And I mean, trust me, we run them as well. But the key to those is to not leave them running consistently, and to also switch around your different outlets. Don't leave it plugged up to the same one all the time. If you have to run multiple, a lot of people don't have, central heating in their house, and they have to use space heaters or window units. So, make sure those aren't all plugged up to one circuit. Split them up on different circuits as well, so it's not drawing as much power. Because what happens with anything that you're going to be plugging in that draws a consistent load like that, a very high amperage consistent load, it's going to find those weak points in your wiring system. It could be a loose screw. It could be anything. You could have it plugged into this outlet, but then this outlet over here burn up because they're all connected. It's going to find its weak point.
Now, you say, find a different circuit.
Yes,
so
sir.
let's just break it into simple terms. If you have someone who's, at home and you're saying, find a different circuit, they're going to go like, well, what do you mean?
Right.
Explain.
There's obviously all kinds of little tools and gadgets you can get for that, but the easiest way for a homeowner to see that is, plug your space heater, light, whatever it may be, into that circuit, and then have your spouse, anybody can go and start flipping breakers off. Wait till you isolate whatever turns that device off, and then you can turn the rest of them back on, and then you'll be able to go around and check and see how your circuitry's split up. So if that circuit's still off, you find another outlet in that same room that's live, it's going to be on a different circuit.
So what's the longest would you let anything run on a circuit that's not like meant for like a refrigerator or something that's continuously running?
Man, that's tough because
Depends on the load.
it really depends on the load is what it's going to depend on. Obviously you only want that running as, as short amount of time as possible. However, I mean, you got to stay warm, not ask anybody to hinder themselves or anything like that. But that's when That's when the issues are found, when they're under load like that for such a long time. If your system is good, tight, you should be fine.
And here's a question. If someone has a light bulb in a socket and that light bulb burns out and they just ignore it and just let it, they don't turn it off, they keep it going, is that running their electricity down? Because there's nothing to connect it to.
I don't believe so, because it's not really, honestly, I'm not even sure. It's not something I've even ever thought about testing, but honestly, I'm very intrigued by it now. So I don't want to say no when it could be yes. But I'm,
because, there's a lot of people, I've been into a lot of homes and everything, and they'll have that same light bulb burnt out for a year.
yeah,
And makes you wonder, this is curiosity has gone to me. If they unscrew that light bulb and they put a little meter on the top, is it live?
it's
Because
gonna,
the switch is
it's going to be live. Yes, it's going to be live, but you're not going to have any draw there because it's not
nothing receptacle.
Yes, it's not igniting that filament in the old bulbs or anything like that. So, and then with LEDs, I mean, you're talking, normally for like an LED can light, 0.18 amps.
So there's a big difference in the old standard light bulb and LEDs.
100%.
Why?
Man, just those diodes that make up an LED. Every little, you've probably seen the LED strip lights, stuff like that. You have those little squares in there.
Yeah.
Those are called diodes. And they only need, some only need, 12 volts to light up. And so it's the way those are designed, they don't require hardly anything to light up. And so they're not drawing hardly anything.
Oh, so that way saving you electricity.
Saving you a lot of money.
A lot of money.
Yeah, especially if, let's say you have 50, 60 can lights in your house, the old style can lights. I mean, switching all those over to new LED retrofit trims or bulbs, you're gonna see that impact on your power bill. I can't give you an exact number, but it will be noticeable.
Oh yeah, so just something as simple as changing out your light bulbs to LEDs
100%.
is going to make a big difference. I've seen your work. You've actually done work in my home. That's one of the reasons why I can attest for the work that you do. Probably,
Thank you, sir.
always, I've said it before. In Chattanooga, when somebody's always asking, you're the first person that I refer.
I appreciate that.
Because for many reasons, you're always there, always courteous, always professional, everything that you do. What are some red flags if someone's hiring an electrician that they should just pull back? Would you say it would be a nightmare?
Well, there's a lot of those, but always ask for, and this goes for referrals on Facebook to referrals from anybody else. Just because you're getting a referral from somebody does not mean that they've actually used that person or they even know what their work looks like. There's a lot of buddy system that goes on, and I have friends that recommend me as well. However, those friends have used me before, have seen my work and know my work. But always ask for referrals, from that contractor. Ask for pictures, ask for insurance, ask for that stuff up front. That information should be readily available by anyone that is running a legitimate company. So it should be pretty easy to find out others that have used that person, check their insurance, so on and so forth.
Yep. Now, your wife, she is your office manager?
Yes, she is, while she's not wrestling her son.
Well, that's a full-time job right there.
It definitely is. She's killing it. She's got a AirPod in one ear and a baby on the hip at all times.
Oh my gosh. I'm glad that you've seen so much success and everything. And, like I said, I think you're well deserving of it. You do a great job.
Thank you.
I guess before we wind up here, what's like one piece of advice that you would share with someone who wants to go into electricity, and be an electrician?
Yeah, absolutely. And there's so many different avenues to go in the electrical field too. Everything from, lineman schools all the way to, industrial, commercial, residential, the PLC programming. There is so many different avenues that I really feel like there is a spot for just about anyone. But I would greatly encourage, if someone doesn't know exactly what they want to do, but they think they might want to learn a trade, do it. What's the worst that's going to happen after, studying and learning a trade?
Yep.
That knowledge stays with you forever.
You're right.
Regardless of anything.
How would people get in touch with you if they want to book you?
Oh, give us a call at 423-680-2682, or you can go to our website and we have an online booking form there, and that's www.renewelectric.com.
Now, are you on Facebook or Instagram?
Yes, sir. We're on Facebook, Instagrams, hadn't really touched it, but TikTok as well. So, yeah, we actually get quite a bit of our work through Facebook too. So we see all of our pictures, all that good stuff.
Yeah, Facebook is kind of the new way to do things.
It is.
I've referred you on Facebook multiple times. It's where we get a lot of business. If you go to Truly Effortless Events on Facebook, you'll find our page. Like and follow Renew Electric too as well. It's amazing though that you've built such a following in Chattanooga. I'm proud to have you as a vendor at our events. I'm proud to refer you. I love your story. It's been amazing. I didn't know the story behind Renew. It has a different meaning now, and I'm sure it will for all the listeners as well. So again, if you want to find this podcast on the internet, different times, go to TalkTruly.com and you'll be able to pull it up anytime. Go to TrulyEffortlessEvents.com. You'll find all the information on our events and future events that are going to be going on, anything you need. Again, my name is Ed Calais. I'm with Truly Effortless Events. Thank you again for joining us on Talk Truly.